Well, basically, the ruling party of regions wants to make this amnesty conditional on protesters leaving the occupied public buildings in Kiev and leaving Independence Square. That's obviously something that they can't accept. Even if the opposition leaders did accept those kinds of conditions, then the protesters wouldn't leave the square. So opposition political figures have been saying that this is basically blackmail, and that the region's party's tactics are completely unacceptable. What we have heard just now, though, is that President Viktor Yanukovych has come to Parliament, not alone, also with his Chief of Staff, Andriy Kluyev, and the Justice Minister, Olena Lukash. And we're not entirely sure why, but one Ukrainian journalist reported that he had a very worried look on his face, and then one MP from the opposition Batkivshina party, Andriy Shevchenko, said that he had come in order to prevent members of his own party from voting for the proposed law that Batkivshina had put forward, which had much less conditions imposed on this amnesty bill to release the prisoners.
All right, well, I guess that worried look hasn't left Yanukovych's face for quite a while now. But anyway, what about those warnings from the former president? I mean, are they an exaggeration, or are they really a picture of what's going on in Ukraine right now?
For people looking at what's going on in Ukraine from far away, it's very important to remember that the scenes of actual conflict have been in a very few, very small areas, basically on Hrushevsky Street in Kiev, with a few scuffles elsewhere in Kiev, and some fighting going on in other towns where protesters tried to take control of regional administration buildings. Then there have been these disappearances, and at least 2 people's bodies have been found in woods after they had been beaten to death. There are those kinds of things going on. So there is violence, there is tension. There isn't it's not as though the country is broken out into war and that there's fighting on every street corner. Far from it. But the way that the forces seem to be posed against each other and the lack of any obvious way out does lead a lot of people. Leonid Kravchuk is definitely not the only person to start using terms like civil war.